Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, with the recent Halo MCC update, the Halo 3 ODST mod tools came with a lot of new maps in it, specifically cut DLC maps for Halo 3. For some reason, they were included with ODST instead of Halo 3, probably because the Halo 3 mod tools got the Halo Online maps. But anyways, for this video, we're going to go right into looking at all the cut Halo 3 DLC maps that were included, because obviously we never got to see most of these maps before back in the day until now, and now we can actually play on them too and get a really in-depth look at it. So for the very first map we'll be looking at, it's called Anxiety, and this map is huge. Like, BTB on this map is an understatement. I think this map is too big for Halo 3 BTB as well. It's like, it reminds me a lot of like the control room on the control room map from Halo 1. I think, yeah, from Halo 1, and there's so many areas on this map. There's like underground tunnels here, extra rooms, and then there's like rooms inside the canyons with multiple floors and stuff, and it's probably like way too big for even just regular BTB, unless like they were going to increase the player count size, but yeah, it's a really cool map, but it's too big in my opinion. Next up we have another remake of Battlecreek. And this one is very incomplete. It's completely untextured, or rather, it has a bunch of error. It's like nothing but error textures on it, which is pretty much the same. And it's I mean, it's completely identical to Battlecreek. They probably just like re-imported it from one of the previous games, and just kind of left it there, and they never actually finished the remake until probably Halo Reach, when they did it for CE Anniversary map pack. It's interesting that the skybox they use is from the Warthog run, but like darker, like at night, unless they just didn't finish the lighting either, which is a possibility. But aside from that, the rest of the map, I don't really see anything new about it compared to the previous versions. Next up, we have the map Beachhead. This map will probably look very familiar to you if you've played a lot of Halo Reach, and that's because this map is just like Tempest from Halo Reach, or rather, Tempest is just like this map. So this map is like very much near completion, actually. Aside from a few like missing textures, it's actually like in pretty decent shape, and it looks very nice. But for whatever reason, Bungie canceled this map, or cut it pretty late in development, I would say, even. Well, yeah. And they I guess they shelved it until Halo Reach, where they added it back eventually. But yeah, in Halo 3, I mean, this map, it looks really nice. It's just missing a few things here and there, but at last it was cut, and it's a mystery why it was cut. But there are a lot of cut maps in this video. Alright, well, that's it for this map, and we are going to move on to the next one, which is literally just called Damn in the game files. And it's obviously called that because it takes place on this dam here. And it may look familiar to you as well, and that's because it's pretty much the map from campaign, the Halo 3 campaign, Sierra 117, with a few modifications for multiplayer. So a lot of the layout is the same, a lot of the buildings are the same, but some areas were opened up and used for multiplayer. And there were some more tunnels added, some more rooms added, and even some air vent lifts added as well. And a few other interactive things, which I'll show you in a little bit. But aside from that, aside from the new rooms, everything else is pretty much the same. Should be pretty familiar. A lot of these extra rooms here that was like filled with like generators and stuff, or areas that were previously inaccessible, like that room up here, it's they've all been opened up for use now, and it's a pretty decently sized map actually, and it could have been actually pretty fun. Now in the middle there's a bridge, which it's actually interactive. You could actually extend the bridge. Now it's already extended like by default, so that's kind of like an unfinished portion, and it actually does close itself again right there. So that's basically all there is to that map. Next up we have the map Desecration, and this map is, well, I was gonna say it's pretty huge, but it's more tall than huge, which I guess is the same thing. But this is a very vertical map, and I don't think Halo has ever had any vertical maps like this. And when I say vertical, I mean like the entire gameplay is all about verticality in this map. Like, you have lifts going up and down, and inside you have like you're basically like fighting your way up. The entire thing is just like going up, and it's such a tall map as well. You have a lot of climbing to do. There's not a lot of room on each floor, so you have to keep working your way up, and it's probably like a very sniper heavy map as well. And on the top level, I mean, there's not some room for vehicles up here, but even the vehicle area up here is like very vertical as well. Next up, we have the map Landslide. This map probably gives you a lot of Valhalla vibes from Halo 3 as well, and that is probably because it features a lot of the same like structures, like the bases here, but there's multiple bases, not just two. There's more than two actually, but they are missing a few textures on here, but the trees and everything, the grass, all very reminiscent of the map Valhalla. It's like a circular version of Valhalla with multiple bases and like a central area of the map, and it's definitely like a much more BTB version of Valhalla, even though Valhalla already is a BTB map by itself. But this one is definitely meant for, I mean, I guess it's like probably meant for multi-teams, because there's like at least like 3 bases. But speaking of the center of the map, there's a very interesting thing that was probably added but never finished, and that's a zip line. Now, the zip line doesn't actually work. I can't actually like use it or anything, but it's an invisible floor that I can walk down. And it basically, I guess it's like a placeholder for like how a zip line would have actually worked. But who knows what they were actually planning to with that, how they're planning to make it work. But anyways, next up we have the map Sanctuary, as in another remake of Sanctuary. Well, yeah, I mean this would have been the first remake of Sanctuary after Halo 2, but it's now it was cut and then it was brought back as a Forge map for Forge World in Halo Reach. But on this version, I'm guessing they were going for like a more metallic, maybe like Forerunner version here, based on like the textures that were included, and probably like a one at night as well, based on the skybox. I mean, the lighting is obviously like not complete, but it is a night map. The skybox is, you know, set at night, but everything else is pretty much the same as Halo 2 Sanctuary. And for the last map we'll be looking at for this video is the famous Warthog Inc. map. This map has been like talked about in like the community for quite a long time now, and it is now here for us to take a look at and play on as well. So this is a pretty interesting map, but it's definitely a lot earlier in development compared to some of the other cut maps in this video. I mean, it's definitely playable. It's got spawn points, it's got weapons and everything, but the buildings themselves, they're very blocky and don't have like too many details yet. And there are of course missing textures here and there. So it's definitely still a map that's in very early development, but it's pretty cool nonetheless to finally see this map. And there's a lot on this map too that's interactive, like the map Dam. So on this map, there's a lot of switches that you could activate that opens like a gate or a door. That first one there, I'm not sure what it opened, but there were other doors that can be opened by activating switches. And you know, the switches kind of like floating there or like in the wrong place. But again, this map was pretty early in development still, and it's you know, it's pretty impressive that it's actually quite playable. Like you could feasibly like use this for multiplayer right now, and most of it would work pretty well. I mean, it wouldn't be the nicest looking map, but it's playable and it's a very interesting map too. So it's definitely curious to see like people host custom games on this. People have uploaded the map packs of this of all these cut maps on Steam Workshop. There's been like a few people uploading them actually. So you know, if you want to grab them, just look up like Halo 3 cut maps on the Steam Workshop, and it should come up, I think. So it's definitely very interesting. But these are basically all the cut maps that are included in the Halo 3 ODST modules, the most recent MCC update. And there's a lot of really cool stuff in Halo 3's early history that we never got to see before until now. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found it be interesting. If you did, then as always, make sure to leave a like, leave your thoughts and comments, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys!